Okay, guys, so you've got your ChatGPT account created and we want to help it get to know us quickly. So I'm going to give you a prompt to fill in to get started. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I literally set up 2 accounts. I had one I've been using forever and I set up a new one that was free so I could get a really good idea what it would put out there for you when you did a free account. And I'm not gonna lie, the paid $20 a month is so much less frustrating and works faster, gives me better content. I get no kickback on it. I don't have an affiliate program or anything. But you can totally try the free version and see what it gets you. But I'm going to tell you, I have messed with it, and I couldn't get the free version to give me the same kind of quality content that the is like 4.0. You'll see it at the top of the screen. I'll share screen and show you. But I'm not trying to convince you to buy one more thing because I'm just telling you my experience. Okay. All right. So if you have a free one, you're not going to see this 4 at the top. When you come down here, you'll see there's an upgrade to Pro if you haven't, and that's when you'll see the 4 up here to the top. Okay, I'm going to fill this in with the 3.5, knowing that a lot of you won't necessarily upgrade, and we'll see what it comes up with. Okay, so the very first prompt, and you have your Google form to go and copy and paste this from. Okay, and this says, in a minute, I'm going to ask you to help me create a month's worth of content to post on my business page. But before, you may want to say my Facebook business page. But before you do, ask me as many questions as needed to get to know me. And now I work with a lot of people in the direct sales industry, so I've put in the direct sales company I'm a consultant for. If you're not, you would say get to know me and the boutique I own and the products that are carried in my boutique. If you're making your own products, you would change this get to know me and the handmade goods that I'm making. So you want to change this right here to what is authentic to you and what matches your business model. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to pop this in. And here's the thing, there's a couple things that are important here to note. Okay, so it gave me some questions here. Okay, and one of the things that you want to do now, here's a really interesting thing about this. So doing this in 3.5, it gave me these 10 simple questions. Doing it in the 4 version on my other account, it gave me questions about myself, and then it gave me questions about my company also. So it was more thorough. We'll just start a new one and do the 4 and see if it gives us a different answer. Because the really funny thing about this is that sometimes you can put in the exact same prompt and it will give you totally different answers. I don't totally know why. It's kind of interesting. So this one is breaking it down into subcategories, where when I tried this last night, it actually just said, tell me about you and tell me about your company. So either way, okay, you are going to take whatever it gives you. Okay, for me, it gave me tell me about you and tell me about your company. Okay, this one just gave me 4 categories. Okay, now what you can do is come down here. Now there's 2 different ways that you could do this. I'm actually going to go back to the first one I was doing because this is probably the one you guys will have. And you want to literally come down here and answer the questions. You just put in number 1, what's the name of the direct sales company you work for? So you would put that in there, Tupperware, okay, or whatever it is, right? And then you need to hit Shift Enter. You don't want to hit Enter because you want to answer all the questions before you put them all in. So if you hit Shift Enter, it goes down the line without it going right into the system, okay? If you don't answer all 10 at once, it assumes you don't have the information on the other questions. Now, I find it's very hard, and I'm very tempted to hit enter at the end of any sentence that I type. Well, or, number 2, I'd hit enter thinking it's going to go the next thing for me to number 3. So let me show you what I did that I think you might like and might be easier so you don't, it's not like you mess this up. It's just, you want to give it all the information at once. So what I did is I copied these questions. Okay. And I went into a Google Doc. So let me share that screen. Okay. And I pasted in here exactly what it asked for. Okay. So here, see, I told you, it said about you, and then about your direct sales company. Okay. And so I actually, and one thing I should note, you don't have to type in the question. You just need to put number 1. It will connect to what it said. Okay. So I came down here and it said about you. So I put about me and then about my direct sales company. And I answered all of these questions. Okay. Now, this I pretend I was a Mary Kay consultant. Okay. So what I would do, I'm just going to pretend like I'm you. Okay. And I would take these questions and put in this Google Sheet. Or sorry, it's a Google Doc. Google Sheet is one of the ones that look like a grid or Excel form. Okay. And I am going to paste here. Oh, here's something funny. Okay, I always do this. Let me show you the mistake I made. It's not a mistake, it's just 2 different ways to do this. Okay, I am someone who's constantly highlight and copy, and that a lot of people don't do that. Anyway, you want to come up here and clip copy right there. That little clipboard thing right up here to the thumbs up and the thumbs down. That's the best way to do it. Let me show you why. Okay, so let's put in a block of content. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a gray box behind this text. Okay, so let me come down here and I'm going to figure the formatting. Okay, and I'm going to hit paste. Okay, now what this does is this puts in the numbers because I want to match up the answer with the numbers. Okay. And so the other thing you need to note is when you copy and paste something, you know how here in a Google form or in Word documents, if I put a 1 and hit space and then type, and then I hit enter and I get a 2 and I type, okay, for whatever weird reason, do you see when I highlight that, it doesn't highlight the 1 and the 2? When I copy that and go to put it into ChatGPT, it's not going to show the 1s and 2s or the numbers on the left-hand side. So this is what I did instead. Okay. So I'm going to come up here to the top and you're going to find your bullet points, whether this is in Word or Google. And I hit the bullet point. Okay. And then I typed in 1 in a space. And then I started answering these questions. Okay, what's the name of your company? So let's say I put in here Lila Rose. Okay. And when I hit enter, instead of putting a 2, it just puts another bullet. And I can put a 2. And the next question is, what products or services does your company offer? Hair accessories. How do you spell that? Yep. And hair care products. Okay. Now I'm going to elaborate more on that, and I'm going to do 1 through 10, but I need the numbers in here. Okay, so let me go back to the document I was using. So I have down here my answers. Okay, I've got my bullet points here. And so I'm just going to take part of these. Okay, so I have my answers for 1 through 6. I'm going to copy these. Let's just pretend they match up with the other questions. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my ChatGPT form where it asked me those questions. Pretend I have all 10 answered. Okay, so then I'm going to hit here, paste, and see how it has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down the left-hand side. I mean, I'd want all 10. Okay. And then I would hit this green button or enter, and it's going to shoot that information into my ChatGPT so it can start to get to know me. Okay. Now you can always tell ChatGPT, we now sell this, or we don't sell this anymore, so don't ever focus on that product. Like you can give it deep updates anytime you want. Okay. But the whole idea is the very first thing you want to do is get this thing knowing you, knowing your products. So if I was at a wholesale company and you had some wholesale companies you bought from, I'd put in the name of the company and a description of some products. Okay. If I was making my own product, I might even go to like your supplier. So let's say you're doing candles. You might go to your supplier and put in a list of the products, especially if you're trying to do, something that's more environmentally friendly, what it does and doesn't have in it. You want to expound, and then ChatGPT is going to make the wording even prettier and more just sound even better. Okay. So we put this information in here. Okay. And let me show you what it did. So then it created some content ideas for me, and it started to get to know me. Okay. And that was kind of the launch pad for how it worked. All right. And like I said, whatever you have, whether you have the free version or you have the paid version, try it with the 2 different things you have. But I would encourage you to answer these questions and get this part done for sure before we start our class next week. Okay. I mean, before you come to the class that's on Zoom where we'll be with each other. All right. So answer those questions all in one bulk piece, all these here. Okay. And let it start to get to know you better and better and better and better. Okay. Okay. Now that is just an awesome start. And the really cool thing is the ChatGPT continues to get to know you better and better, the kind of wording you like. And every time it gives you a new prompt, you can give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So it gets to know like what you feel more authentic, if it's giving you the information you actually want and need, all those things. It's awesome that way. Okay. All right. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go get your prompt that says your 7-day social media plan. Now, you can always change the 7 days to 28 days. The reason, and there you can copy the one that says 28 days. I'm going to do 7 days because I have a feeling like if you put in, like I was practicing with like a Mary Kay product, lipstick. Now, I'm not sure you can talk about lipstick 28 days in a row. So a lot of times you can just put in specific products for 7 days and just continue to make 7-day social media plans over and over and over again. Okay. So go ahead and go to your Google Sheet that we sent you and get the prompt. You'll see here what it's going to look like. Okay, and then I'm going to show you some very very, 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 very cool things. Okay. All right. So you and ChatGPT are starting to date now, right? Okay. Now, this is so fun. And this is like an awesome launch pad for starting to create content. And then we can expand on what kind of things would you put in stories, expand on what kind of writing real scripts, all sorts of different things. Okay. We're just going to start with the basic post. And I'm going to choose the free version just to show you the difference and what I get from this. And show you that I'm going to put the exact same prompt in and what happens. Okay. Now I'm going to paste this in here and I'm going to point some important things out here. When you have, hopefully you see me circling this, it says the word dates and it has the greater and the less than sign in there, maybe another name for that. Here you have product. Okay. And here, now I put in month, but I'm going to tell you some different things that you can change that to. Okay. So you're going to put in date, product, and basically season or month. All right. Down here at the bottom of the prompt, see how this is here? So it has product with its greater and less than sign, and then it has equals. And then you're going to put in your company name and the specific product. Okay. I wouldn't keep it super, super broad. I'd keep it more specific because it's going to cover it for 7 days. By the end of the 7 days, people are like, I got to have some of that. Okay. Then you're going to put in, so I had in there September and it just felt like it was weird every time we would talk about lipstick in September, like there's some great connection. There might be like February when, it's a month of love or something, but it just didn't feel quite right. So I changed it to fall instead of September. You could put, I don't know, whatever you might be, you could put in there football season. Maybe maybe you're doing like food ideas, and instead of putting winter, you put Super Bowl or something like that. So you can put any sort of event, time frame, all sorts of different things you can change that with. Okay. And then dates. Okay. So I want a 7-day plan. So I looked at my calendar. I chose to go Sunday through Saturday. And you're going to put in your 7 days specific. Okay. And so these 3 things right here at the very bottom, your product. Now you could just put lipstick and not Mary Kay lipstick, but I like that it gave me some branded words with them a little bit. Sometimes you don't want the branded words and that feels salesy. So you can try it both ways. Okay. You can do one with lipstick in here and then do it again with Mary Kay. All right. Then you've got fall, or you can put in a specific month. It is kind of weird when you put in October, it tries to make everything very Halloweenish, and sometimes that just does not fit your product. Okay. So try fall if like October is like not working. And then it's going to go find very specific national days. Okay. So this is the 3.5. All right. So if you have the free version, try this. It might work better for you. Like you just kind of never know. Sometimes it works better than others. So if you see here, and this actually did not work the way I wanted it to. It was supposed to have 2 columns. So I'm going to hit regenerate. See if it'll give me, there we go. So I wanted to say engagement posts and qualifying posts. So anytime you see it not working the way you want it to, okay, you're just going to hit stop and then just hit regenerate. Okay. So it's very, very cool. You can spot it. And if you're like, no, don't like any of this. So here's another problem. Happy National Grandparents' Day. Which color do you think your grandma would adore? Grandmas don't care about lipstick, right? So this is trying too hard to put these national days in here. And so you can hit so we can be like, no, that didn't, those aren't good. Okay. And so it's doing me another set, kind of breaking them up. Yeah. See this, I don't know why it's trying so hard to put lipstick in here. Okay, so let me show you what happens when I choose 4.0. Okay, I'm gonna hit new chat, or I guess it just says 4, not 4.0, but I'm gonna put the prompt in here. So here, see, it stops talking about lipstick. Okay. The other thing is over here, you'll see it's filling in the information with much better, much more thorough information. Because one of the things that I ask it to do is to add like 3 to 5 things. It actually could add even more than it's adding. I might regenerate one more time. Or the other thing you can do, okay, so after this is done, so luckily it stopped talking about lipstick over here. Like I said, I don't know why I get so confused on the 3.5 version. It just was not working the way I wanted to, but the 4 was working great. Okay. And so over here, I can say on the qualifying post, okay, on the qualifying post, add more detail. Steps or okay, because if you see up here, write 2 to 3 sentences about a tip, project, or solution. Choose 1 to 3 ideas. Give 3 to 5 steps on how to do something, or 3 to 5 reasons someone would like the product, or 3 to 5 uses for the product. Okay. Let's see if it does a little bit better job. So you can type that in and prompt it to do a little bit better job. Okay. So we'll see how that comes along. There we go. So look, it's giving you a step 1, step 2, step 3, step. So like that's much, much better. That right there could literally be your basically your context for a reel. Okay. And so I write this prompt and sometimes it does really well. And after you get a couple that you're like, oh, that is beautiful. That's exactly what I want. Then you give it the thumbs up when it's done. And then it knows to do that for the next thing that you put in. Okay. And so that's the thing. Using ChatGPT more and more and more gets it. So it's creating the content that you want. Now, let's just say that these questions were, for example, a little too serious for you, or didn't have enough humor in them. Or I did one, and for whatever silly reason, like it gave me all fall emojis on both sides of this. And it was like, well, all the fall emojis didn't match National, cream filled donut day. Why is it giving me these fall emojis? Okay. The other thing you could do is just simply do, please, this looks great. Please do create content for the next 7 days from where it left off, and focus on eyeshadow instead of lipstick. Okay. Let's cross our fingers it's gonna work. I would even go up here. I'm going to give this a thumbs up because more closer to what? Okay, it's feedback. And I'm going to hit enter. Point, and we're going to see if this works for us. So this is the cool thing. After you get a couple prompts that work really well, then you can always just say, keep making more of that. Okay. So we got National Apple Dumpling Day, National Cheeseburger Day, single color gradient. Okay. So here it's giving you specific ideas on how to apply the eyeshadow, and it just keeps going. Okay. Now, let's say you like these national talk like a pirate, pirates or ninja, who won the duel? The other thing you could do is you could make these, you can kind of change the tone. So you could say rewrite these and make them funnier or punny. Okay, let me let it finish and then we'll try that. You can also say, write these in the voice of so-and-so. Write these in the voice of, I don't know, Oprah. Write them in the voice of, I love an English accent. Not that you can hear, but Emma Thomas. You could do all sorts of things. So let's see if it makes these questions a little funnier. And if that feels more like you, because you like a lot of humor with your content. Here we go. So National Apple Dumpling Day, apple dumpling or apple pie, which one is more appealing to you? Okay. And the hashtag is kind of punny and silly. National Cheeseburger Day or Veggie Burger, which one has more grill appeal? Just kind of cute names. So it's asking some of the same questions, but putting a little bit funnier spin on it. And if you don't like that, you can always say, try one more time. You can literally say, try again, and it almost apologize. Like, it's very polite. It's kind of funny what happens. And so try, this, there's just a little bit of trial and error. I try to write these prompts as concise as I can, that it'll give you exactly what you want. Sometimes you have to train it, or my style may not be exactly like yours, and that's okay. And so you just want to kind of play around with it. Okay. So you are going to get this prompt. So let me show you the Google Sheet. And you're going to have both. It'll say 7 days or 28 days. Honestly, guys, though, I really think you just want the 7-day one. So the second one down right here says, right, 7 days. This one says 28 days. Okay. But actually you'll see these. I'm going to put in here, fill in. Fill in. Okay. You're going to fill these in. So when you copy this, and then you're going to go to your ChatGPT. Okay. And you can just start a new one. And I love this. So it saves them for 30 days. It is so cool. Okay. Saves them for 30 days. So I'm going to use the 4 version. I'm going to paste this in here. So you need to change these. Okay. So you're going to put in your dates. September, let's do 20th through 26th. Would be 7 days. Okay, I'm going to fill in fall. And I'm going to fill in Bird Chef Stones. Okay. All right. And I am going to hit go. So just remember, so it will, a lot of times, sometimes it just says new chat. I think it seems to depend on how busy it is, how many people are using it, how good the labels are for the things that it creates for you over here. So look, it gives you all these cool tips on why a pepper chef stone's awesome. Okay, this is just writing this. Like you guys, all I put in was stones. This is so much fun. Okay. So I love the emojis it puts in here. This is just so fun. So fun. Okay. So it's writing this content. Now, the other thing I want to show you is how to copy it after it gets these 7 days done. So remember this column, the engagement post, those you can just go put on your colored backgrounds or the ones with the emojis. You don't need to create anything for that. These over here, you might have before and after pictures. You might have selfies. You might have videos. It could be videos a company did. It could be videos you did. And you can also, start using this stuff and use it for reels. And it looks like this one gave me 3 reasons, and then it kind of got lax. I might ask it to give more detail again on the qualifying post side. Okay. So it just depends on what you want to do. So then you're going to come up here, right here, this little copy button. I'm going to hit copy and we're going to see what happens together. I would suggest you put this in a Google Doc. But if you try to highlight it and copy and paste it, it won't paste over well. It's kind of a mess. Okay, so I have it on my clipboard because I clicked on that little paste icon next to it. Okay, and I'm going to hit paste. And so you're going to see, for whatever reason, this doesn't create the grid super well here, but you can still see, what you're going with here. And you could, what would happen if I add, let me see if there's any way this would. Okay, so let me show you what I discovered. I just paused it for just a second. So I used the copy thing and it put it in like this. Okay. If it's not in a grid, that is a really good way to go. And you can read it fine. It's just not as organized as you'd like. Okay. So I'm going to show you. So sometimes it's good to copy it, highlight it and copy it. Sometimes, so let me show you what I did. You guys, and sometimes things change. So I'm going to come up here, start with day. Come down just to the bottom of the grid. Okay. And I copy it. And then I'm going to go to you're just going to open a Google Doc, I have to think about what I'm saying so I don't say the wrong thing. Okay. All right. A Google Doc. So no lines in it, no grid. Okay. So you'll see, actually, I already posted it here, but let me show you one more time. Doesn't want to let me out of it after I've done that. Okay, I'm just going to make insert page break. Okay, so I just have a clean sheet up here. Okay. And I am going to paste what I highlighted and copied with my mouse, or you could highlight and do Control C, and then you can come in here and do Control V, right? I'm choosing to use my mouse and hit paste. And it puts it in this grid for me. So it's really, really easy to read. Okay. So you just kind of have to play around with the copy and paste to see which way you like it better. But it does look pretty nice like this. Okay. Okay, so I was just double checking on one more thing before I showed it to you. So open a Google Sheet. I swear this didn't used to work, but it does now. So yay. So I'm going to come here and hit paste. And it puts it in the different columns. Now, to make it easy to read this, what you're going to do is leave this highlighted. You're going to come up to here where it says text wrapping. It's this little like arrow that's bent. You hit the drop down. I choose this center one right here and click on that and see what it does. It makes it so the boxes are big enough that you can read everything that's in there. Now, if you're not familiar with Google Sheets, see how my little arrow is getting tall right there? I can put it there, left click, and drag it over, and then it's not quite so tall. Okay, so you get this up here so you see the arrows going both left and right. Left click and pull it over, and you'll have a little easier to read and look at. Okay, so that's one other place that you could put it, which that's really convenient. The other nice thing about that is if you've done our class on bulk creating on Canva, you can download this. See, all my classes like intermix. Download this right here as a CSV file, and then you'd be able to upload it over into, I'm pretty sure it's a CSV file. You can upload it into Canva and you could bulk create if you want to do that. But like I said, the first column I was just doing colored backgrounds on Facebook anyway. So anyway, there's lots of options here. Okay. Okay. So get that started. I'm going to have a lot more prompts for you to work on during the class. Look for the Google Sheet. I'm going to give you access to the Google Forms, and I'm going to download it for you as a PDF. Hopefully you can highlight it and copy it from the PDF, but have those ready to go and have your account starting going and play around with this with content. We'll play around more with reels and stories and other different forms of content. Okay, it's gonna be so good. All right, my friends, just have so much fun. Okay, with this, give yourself a little time. Don't be in a huge rush. Have fun with the process. It's going to be fabulous. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.